Hi, everyone. I'm Nicole Huckabee, and welcome to Conversations with Nicole. My guest today is Etc. You're going to love him. He is hailed as the epitome of modern day music royalty. He's made waves with his album Character and his next album Sagittarius. And that album features singles and collaborations with notable names like Kaya Jones from the Pussycat Dolls and Trisha Covington. His single Is That Mic On is propelling his popularity. You're really going to love him. You're going to want to follow his music. I hope you enjoy today's conversation. Let's get started. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am delighted to have as my guest today, Etc., all the way from the big city of New York. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me, Nicole. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh, it's quite the honor to have you. You have quite the career. I want you to, first of all, just start off telling people a little bit about yourself and where you grew up and how you've gotten to where you are today.
Well, as everyone knows, my name is Etc. I do hip hop music. I really do music and I love it to death. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Um, I got this way through a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of, aspirations. Um, I came through like everybody else. I was a introvert kid from Brooklyn. I was always on punishment because I didn't know how to keep, I had a smart mouth. And my mother was like, guess where you're not going today? And I said, we're outside. So all I
Yeah.
do was write. I watched TV and created these characters and all this stuff. But I started off as a ghostwriter. And then I was like, I'm never going to be able to make records. I'm not good enough. And then long story short, I met some gentlemen from or some guys I used to hang out with, like my boys. They were from Park Place in Nostrand, and they introduced me to this world called hip hop and how it really goes down. And I started doing demo tapes, and demo tapes turned into records. Records turned into a career, and I'm here right in front of you as the person I am. A multi-award
What an
winning.
amazing career you have. And I'd like to know, how did you actually develop your love for music and specifically hip hop? And you're very broad in what you like to write and what you like to perform. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, I grew up actually one of my favorite artists is Glenn Campbell. God rest his soul. Like
What?
I lived in country western music a lot. And country western is known for its stories. And
Mhm.
country western and R&B is not that far apart from each other. It's just from where part of the world it come from. So I started writing these fables of who I was. And then all of a sudden, it transcribed into where I'm at today. But I listened to Glenn Campbell.
Okay.
First song I ever heard was Rhinestone Cowboy. Next song that really had me captivated was Say 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 by Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
Then I used to listen to the rock band Kiss, and after that, I was introduced to like LL Cool J Bad, and I was like, "What's this?" But that had that rock flavor in it, and then they introduced me to like artists like Houdini, and they started playing this hip hop. And what I said is, if I fused this with my fables with this music, how would it sound? And it became magic after that.
Well, you clearly have magic when you're singing and when you're on stage. The audience is drawn to you. They love to watch you perform.
Well, my first album was a release on TSOB Records under the Federal Universal Music Group. That was my actual first studio album. I had a lot of records before that, like independent records. I actually had a record called Bees Like That when I first released my own public record, and it actually was like it charted like highly in college radio. Um, and it was promoted by a gentleman I know, Rick Betterman. He used to be the radio director for Atlantic Records, and
Yeah.
to this day, it's still played overseas. The B-side was featuring a called Tonight, featuring UG from the Cellar Dwellers, which is like one of hip hop's royalty, and so is like Gage, same hip hop royalty, and they blessed me to even be on my record. I mean, I was just amazed, and that was started my first like big shows that I was so shy. But once I touched the stage, I don't know, it all just went away. First album was under that TSOB label under Federal. My second album was Character. Character was one of the most highest selling records albums I had. Character was the most was a diverse album. Was my first introduction to being like etc. and who etc. was and how did I evolve in this industry. I mean, songs from like City of Churches, you know, So Long, Sin City. And those records sort of like projected me into a whole nother world that I didn't really understand, like pop culture, um, you know, alternative music. Um, I did songs that had R&B flavor that I always wanted to do. And that's when I really found out being me was okay. And so far the charts and the record sales said that too. It was okay to be me.
Yes, well, you is great. And I think that's something that in this world, when you are truly authentic to who you are and you don't, bend to what other
Mhm.
people want you to be just to make a sale, you really don't want to sell yourself out because if you're true to yourself, your audience, your listeners, your followers, your fans, they'll be there for you and they're showing up for you.
Between the sales and the charts, I did high impressive numbers. Um, you
Yeah,
know, I mean the album was Character. I think I licensed the album cover at least 12 times because it told me who I was. Because in this world, everybody plays a character. Don't think you don't. Once you
I
get up in
agree.
the morning, yeah, you play a character because you walk out in
Yes.
the street, you're somebody. You have to be somebody in order to, continue the day. Some people you have to act like you don't like. Some sometimes you
That's
gotta
very
be
true.
somebody.
We just
No,
said it out loud, etc.
yeah,
That's very true.
listen, I tell you. So that's what I played. In that album Character, I played a different character on each and every record. Each and every walk through my career at that particular time, I played that character. So I played a hip hop artist, I played a R&B artist, I played a country western artist, I played, a lover, a fighter, you know, that whole album was a movie, and I played each and every character very well. I should have got an Oscar, but that wasn't the category.
I'll call them up for you. The variety that you have within your music. I mean, that's beautiful to be able to give people more than just one thing, you know? It's
Mhm.
it's oftentimes the unexpected is what I hear from you.
Mm. Well, that's what the et cetera comes from.
Yeah.
I went through a plethora of names, um, and then et cetera, me and my DJ at the time, his name was Self. We was like, we call ourselves et cetera. But then, everybody started calling me et cetera. And he had his own name at the time, which is Self One. Um, and
Okay.
then, when he decided to go a different route in the industry, I just became et cetera all alone. I mean, it wasn't like a huge transition, but it's one of those things, et cetera means and so forth and on. And,
Yes.
it continues. So I figured, live up to the name, be yourself. But I had the name since like 99. We was doing that. So, but I see a lot of et ceteras, but it's only one multi-award winning recording artist, et cetera. And, you
Only
know,
one OG, and that's you.
that's right. And they don't understand that, but it's cool. I mean, they see my footprints all over the globe, so they'll figure it out sooner or later. God bless.
Hey, let them worry about them. You do you,
Yeah.
and what's working for you since you've had your name in the '90s till now is it's happening. You're making waves. You are really being seen by so many. Talk about this album Sagittarius. I want to know
Okay.
about the songs on it. And of course, we have Is That Mic On? That's your song right now that's
Yeah.
really, really on the charts, right?
Yes. Yes. So Is That Mic On was actually recorded for a TV show called BMF, was Black Mafia Family, which is under 50 Cent's mantra under the Stars Network. It's on episode 2, season 2. And when it first hit, I didn't even know it was there till he told me. And there was like an overwhelming response over it, down to who's this guy? Oh, that can't be, etc. He does pop music. And I said, I still could rap. Like, I really rap very well. I was like the
Yeah.
top rapper for like 8 years, like underground, and like, what are we talking about here? But however, I'm not one dimensional, but I wanted people to understand that I still know how to do hip hop music and still, spit those bars, and, lack of a better word, but, and
Yeah.
also it's 50 years of hip hop. Why wouldn't I? Um, they, when it first aired, I was like, okay, nobody's gonna listen, but it just took like a snowball effect, and it sort of sparked me and sparked the label and sparked everyone to say, "Where's the album?" I was working on an album regardless, but that was like the jump start to the album, and I battled with a couple of names for the album, and I was like, you know what? I'm going right back to who I am. I'm Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius, and that's where all
Okay.
that came from. Is that Mic On is like hip hop at it, I guess, epitome, and I believe that. And it was produced by my man who produced Character album. He produced 95% of that movie. I mean, excuse me, 95% of that album. His name is Franchon Corbett. We call him Fran N. And he did an amazing job on both projects. I mean, he's part producer on this album, Sagittarius. He did amazing work. Um, and I'm very proud of the album Sagittarius, just like I'm proud of Is That Mic On. And I'm gonna show the world how proud I really am of the project.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I listened to it and I loved it. I thought it was great, and
Wow.
I watched a video of you performing in New York, and people were all about it.
I think that's the job of an artist, is to be an artist. You are an entertainer, you are an artist, you are the person that's supposed to engage the crowd. I learned that from watching a lot of like hip hop artists, a lot of R&B artists, and I'm a real big New Edition fan, and I watch how certain artists like transcend time, and how the records they have is like timeless. Also look at how they perform, and I believe that when an audience comes and they pay their money, they work, how many hours a day, how many hours a week, they need to come and see a show that when they go home, they want to say, I was there and it was amazing. And I want to give them an amazing performance each and every time. Or it makes no sense to touch the stage. It doesn't. You give them
That's
what
so
they came
true,
for.
and I love the fact that you actually have an appreciation for those of us who pay for the tickets to go see people, because
Oh,
I've
that's
done that, and I think, "Wow, this is a lot," but, I leave the concert saying, "That was awesome. Yes, it was a hefty price, but I'm glad I went." But, really, that's what makes our world work. I
Mhm.
work so I can go see people like you. You're working.
On the stage is fun. It's the steps up to it that's like, oh, you got to rehearse 24 times a day. You have to remember all the key points and when you have to stop, pause. Then you have to collaborate, with your
Yeah.
DJ, with your band, with the sound man. And sometimes everyone's not on the same page. So you have to, like, before that show starts, everyone has to
Yeah.
be on page one, or at least be in the
Yeah, it
glossary.
is
Somebody.
work to do what you do. Yeah, that's the thing, what you're doing takes a lot of hard work and dedication and perseverance and never
Yeah.
giving up, because not everybody makes it to that level that you've made it to, because it's hard. And clearly you have said, I'm in it to win it, and I am
Yes.
not stopping, because you shared with me before we started rolling on the show, you have 2 degrees, you're educated, you could probably bounce back and do something different outside of entertainment, but you are committed to making music, to entertaining, and being something special for the audience that you serve, and I think that's awesome.
Let me tell you something. I really think this is a dynamic field because it also offers you um other talents that you can use. Like I believe that, performing is what everyone does, tell you the truth. Like I said, you're a character every day, but you have to still perform every day. Like,
Yeah.
you are an anchor. When they go, you have to put that $1 million smile on, you know, put that hair and set and sit up straight and bow, right? And when it's over, you could go, right?
Yeah.
So I believe that that's what you give no matter what you do. Like you said, I have
Perfect.
2 degrees. Like I have a bachelor's and a master's degree. So what I did is I used that same talent and I applied it to school because even though this is great, it's music, it's still a business. And you
Yes.
still have to have a mindset of a business person. Because I think Jay-Z said it, and I didn't realize it till like a couple of years later when he said the phrase, I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man. You're a business, you're a
You are
product.
the business.
Right.
Yes.
So, I diversified the business. I have other ventures, but music is what brought me here. Music saved my life. Hip hop saved my life. Hip hop put me in a direction that I don't think any other business will put me in. But it also sparked a lot in me. It sparked my sensitivity, it sparked my creativity, and it sparked me it made a man out of me. And
Yeah.
every boy grow up doesn't become a man, so it made a man out of me. It showed me, that you have responsibilities, you have people that count on you every day. Even though I had to do it at a young age, um, I wanted to be, it helped me take care of my family, it helped me take care of other people's families. So, I really treasure what I do and I treasure the people that support me. And, you know, if I try to do as much as I can to make their lives just as happy as they made mine.
I love that. And you have passion for your
Mm.
music. Therefore, it becomes your purpose. And when purpose and passion are mixed together, you find success. And that is because you're doing what you really love. And that's so important. I think so many people end up in places in their life and they're not fulfilled because they're not really fulfilling their purpose. They're not using what they're passionate about to make a difference in the world.
It's people. You have to appreciate people. And that's why when I looked at this album and I put it together, I put together like a whole like span of ideas, a whole span of music, a whole span, and it's gonna be a little bit lot for people to digest, but I didn't give you one dimension. I mean,
Yeah.
even down to my album cover, you can see. It's in the background. I really love it though. It's like I've given you like a dynamics of the world in just one swoop, and you can't miss it. I put it on everything now, and I think it's like the staple of who I am. I mean, I didn't want to have like a regular picture of me going so
Yeah.
I gave like this my whole silhouette, and there's so many other things that I want to do, but and as we get deeper, I'll tell you other things I am doing, but you're gonna be like, how do you have time? Listen, it's time for
Well,
everything.
do you want to share about the collaborations that you have on Sagittarius and some of the
Ooh,
people that you've worked with?
so this is the fun part. Like I like this part.
Okay,
So
good. Oh, what?
my
What?
my
I thought we
collabor-
were already having fun.
no,
This
I
whole
said
thing
this.
has been
Well,
fun.
let me because there's no such word as funner. I
I
don't
know
want to
there's
say
not.
funner. No, so I'll say this is the funner. Okay, so let me do hip hop. This is the funner part. Um,
The funner part, yeah.
the funner. No, the collaborations were amazing. Like to collab with other artists in that same mindset was like, it was like, why do you want to? I said, because these are the people I've encountered in my life. One of the people I encountered was Trisha Covington. She's a 90s artist and she has like such a soulful voice and she's like
She
she
does.
did songs with like, some of the best of them out there. And being that she was like a chart topper, I said I wanted to bring like that 90s hip hop since Is That Mic On sounds like a early 90s record and I never got a chance to make records in the 90s like that. Um I started like into 2000. I say 99 because I want to just say I'm in the 90s. They'd be like, no, you were 2001. I like, but I did record it. It was like, nah. But
But I thought about it in the 90s, so
yeah, I
it
did.
should thought
I'm gonna
about
use
it.
that. I hope you didn't copyright that because I'm gonna use that.
I didn't. You can have it. It's all
Thank
yours.
you. I started rocking in the 90s, like ghostwriting in the 90s. So she was like an amazing talent. Her former husband had I was talking to him. I was like, I need some music. This 90s. He's like, I said, this beat was made by this gentleman named Thane Brown. He called him my friend Thane. He's RT on the album as well. Um, he's from a group called Dear Tatiana, amazing alternative hip hop group. And he was like, my wife is Trisha Covington. I was like, stop lying. He was like, yeah, you talking about Trisha Covington? Trisha Covington? I was like, he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, please ask her. And she agreed. And her daughter actually wrote that hook By Your Side. And she was 18 at the time and she killed that. And then Trisha actually sang it. And I'm, to this day, I'm that's almost like Mary J. Blige and Method Man type record. And it got
Yeah.
so much love. I performed it for the first time when I was on a bill with Wyclef and Scarface at the Grammys. And it came off like incredible. My other one was a hip hop artist named Billions. He's like, he's like hip hop, underground hip hop dynasty. He thought he could rap better than me, but that's why you got the hook, But now he really gets busy. I have one there, my friend Thane. I have another gentleman on it named Grapevine. He's from like I have this thing where he's on a song with me, Churches and Angels. And churches is like churches is how many, New York is like the city of churches because we have so many churches in New York. It's like every other block is a church or a liquor store. And he's from California now. So Churches and Angels, like the city of angels. So I called it Churches and Angels. And it was like the name is like incredible. He's from a hip hop group, a legendary hip hop group I grew up on listening to. They named Trends of Culture. And I used to listen to the song called Off and On all the time. And I was like, that style is so crazy. He's so nice. And 6 Degrees of Separation, his
Yeah.
DJ had played an event for me. And he was like, that's my partner. I got him. And he was like, oh my God, you just took it back. Because I started off doing like these things where I respect hip hop so much that all through my career, I always did a record with an artist in the 90s that I really respect. Like it started off with Kwame, who I came into this game with as a kid. He's with Polka Dots. He was like my mentor, my cousin. I loved him. I still love him. I did it with Sonya Blade. Then I went with UG from Cellar Dwellers with the song called City of Churches, which is on Character. And then I came to Grapevine. So that's like my lineage to always keep myself grounded in hip hop. Then my friend Thane, Adam Shank, which is a song called Sexiest, which I think is like they love this song. I heart and DJ, Charlie Sharp from VPN Beats One, he loves this. And I seem like that's going to be one of the singles off the album. And then I
Great.
did another one with Javen Marvin, The Martian. It's called Secret. And then I sort of like ended it up with Kaya Jones from the mega iconic group Pussycat Dolls. And that's called Dance for You. And then I did Dance for You remix. So it was like Kaya Jones, Pussycat Dolls. I was like, of course. What do you think? I'm
Yes.
etc. I'm like I said, I'm young, black, and eclectic. So,
Yeah, it's
I'm at my
explosive. This album is explosive.
yeah.
Yes.
I even took Argentina's like sweetheart, named Serena. She did a Latin record with me called Fuego. Um, I wanted to touch each and every part of the world. Um, and I came in and I said, you know what? That's what a Sagittarius does.
Yes.
And that's what it came about. And as you can
I
see
love
from,
that.
they got my pillow from my album listing party and
Oh,
all
that's
the
awesome.
sponsors that happened. Yeah. So I loved it.
How do I get one of those? I want one of
Oh,
those.
we get one too. I'll mail it to you. Yeah, that was one of the things at the album listening, and I really appreciate everyone that came out. I did it during Grammy week. I'm out in LA, and people that came out, I was like, it was outstanding. Like I had actors, promoters, record director, I mean radio directors, and I have to give this guy a shout out because um my DJ, his name is DJ Brooklyn Rich. He's the DJ on my radio station, I Am Etc. Radio. He does an amazing job, and I'll be honest with you, I couldn't do the radio station without him. He does it. He really does it. My name is just on it. He just really does it. And then I give a shout out to Jay Burtett, Jonathan Elderby for coming out. DJ Charlie Sharp. He's the one that gave me the shot at iHeart. These guys are just amazing. And I shout out the sponsors after, but they were like amazing. IHL, Caribbean Moonshine, they was amazing. Like Model Mafia, that's probably what sparked this album is going on the charts and in the sales that is breaking right now. I'm just happy the
That's
fans love it.
awesome.
I'm sorry, I just
Well,
went on
you
a
have your hands you have your hands in a lot with
yeah.
a radio station. I know you've got some things on the horizon with
Oh,
business dealings, and I mean, just the world is your oyster with what you have going on and your future. It's going to get brighter, no doubt.
from your mouth to God's ears to my career. I'm looking at. There's a lot of things coming down the pike, and they tell me I don't dominate interviews a lot, but I feel so comfortable talking to you. I mean, I
Oh,
I think
thanks.
we emailed you more than we emailed, any record promoter just to get on this
Oh
show.
my goodness.
So, we were like, listen, we need to be
Humbled and
on board.
honored. Where
Yeah.
is this girl? Let's talk to her. Well, listen, I have yeah, where is she? Find her. Listen, I'm glad you found me. I think we could probably talk for hours and hours, but we probably need to wrap up. But I want to, as we close, some final thoughts on your future, anything that you want to share there, and how people can find you and follow you and hear your amazing music.
I do want to say something I know is preliminary. Um, there's going to be a rum created named Sagittarius, done by Caribbean Moonshine. It'll be out in Total Wines in about 25 to 40 different locations in a couple of weeks. Um, and I really appreciate the Caribbean Moonshine Company for even, thinking that much of me and to putting it on there. It's going to be a special edition, excuse me, a limited edition, um, and it's Sagittarius limited edition, and I'm dedicating this to the 50 years of hip hop. You can find me on www.iamexcetera.com. You can Google Sagittarius, etc. It'll pop up. It should be all over the place. And if not, I need to re-talk to my promotion team again. Um,
I'm sure it will.
yeah. They can find me on Instagram, which is the real etc. Even though I got hacked and I don't have all the followers that I used to have. However, I have 14 different social medias, and I do apologize if I don't have all the numbers I used to have. But I'm servicing a globe right now, and I look forward to
You've got numbers in other areas that matter more than the socials. You're killing it out there, so don't even worry
listen,
about that.
I feel like I don't want to let anybody down or make it seem like that. But as long as I'm on conversations with Nicole, I'm fine right now. This is my jump start. I'm serious. You don't understand how how this is such a big deal to me. That's why I think I'm talking it right now. It's such a big deal to me. You
Wow.
really don't understand.
Well, I actually don't because I don't see myself that way, but that's very kind of you to share that with me and for you to take the time out of your very busy schedule to spend some time with me. I'm most appreciative and I'm a little bit starstruck, I'm not gonna lie, because I was thinking he's a big deal. I've
Well, look,
interviewed some pretty major people, but I don't know. I'm a little starstruck. So thank you. You are amazing.
I second it towards you as well.
Well, I will also have to try the rum when it comes out.
Oh
Full
yeah.
disclosure, I'm more of a tequila and vodka girl. So put a
Ooh.
label on one of those for
Well,
next after your
right.
rum.
I used to be the brand ambassador for Lamborghini Champagne. I
That
started off.
works too. I don't discriminate. I'll
No,
buy your
yeah, I
rum.
did. If you Google Lamborghini Champagne, etc., yeah, I did that for like 2 years. But
Okay.
I didn't. It got bigger than me. I was like, but I was just happy for Lamborghini to even think of this kid from Brooklyn, and for me to make such a splash, and now for Caribbean Moonshine to even do a signature, and it's a rum. It's a peanut butter and chocolate blend. Yeah. So I was
What?
like, oh my God. And
It's like
I just
drinking a
felt,
Reese's cup.
yes. So big shout out to Steve and Mike,
Gosh.
for putting it together and, bringing it to the world. And I'm pretty sure, well, let me not say pretty sure, it's gonna be a hit. Moonshine Rum.
That's wonderful. That's awesome. Did you know that you said when you're talking about all the drinks, how you made a splash? Splash? Did you get your own little thing you did there?
Yeah, listen, that's what hip hop artists do. I'm a wordologist.
Exactly.
That's not even a word
See, I'm
either, but
just making
I'm
sure I'm listening. I'm listening to you. So oh gosh, this has been great. I hope everyone will go listen to your music, find
yes.
all the things that you've collaborated with. The Sagittarius album, amazing.
Thank you.
Such awesome people that you've collaborated with, and that they get to be with you on your album. I mean, that's the real treat at
Yeah,
the end of the
no,
day. So,
listen.
woo, love
They
it.
are wonderful people. They're spread all over the globe. And I know when it comes to doing the shows, I'm gonna have to go, put everybody in. But just the whole piece is great. It's great. And I thank you for allowing me to be on your show. I thank you for taking the time with me. Um, I just thank you.
Well, I thank you. It's been so much fun. Folks, make sure you follow, etc., because there's always more to come with you. It goes on and on and on. I got it. Thank you, my friend. And
Thank
that
you.
will do
Thank
it
you.
for this edition of Conversations with Nicole. Until I see you again, I hope you have a great day.